Welcome to my sister's new home gym. This is Samantha, my sister. She has a channel called Samantha Says, and she is building a home gym. They've got a barn here, and we needed some gym equipment. And Evolpow was kind enough to send us this whole P3A power rack. It has everything you could need to get a full body workout. We're talking legs, back, chest, and I'm actually gonna have a series coming out soon showing how you can use this for all those different things. As you know, I work out in my garage and I built my physique pretty much there with very minimal equipment, and this has even more stuff than I have available, so it is quite useful. But we're gonna take a look at it, see what you can expect from it, what things could be improved upon, and if it's worth your money. So the main thing for me that you need for any gym is just the general rack. So you can see here, we've got all these holes. So you have the options of putting your barbell wherever you want. So you can be doing squats, no problem. Bench press, I put it down here for shrugs, loading and unloading, all kinds of stuff. Very useful. Safety rails go in, so that's very important because a lot of people have made stupid mistakes with dropping bars on themselves, crumpling themselves with squatting. Not very smart. So you got the safety rails to keep you safe. And then there's all kinds of attachments like we've got here. Dip attachments, you can stick on both sides here. Do dips in the middle, that's one of my favorite chest exercises. You can see down here on the ground, we have these where you can hook on bands. I never really use bands, but maybe I'd try it if I had this. So if you're doing squats or even bench press, you can hook it on there so it gets more difficult as you're pushing up on the hard part of the lift. So then we also have pull-up bar up top here with all kinds of grips. You can do inward grip, overhand grip, neutral grip, wide grip, narrow grip. Whatever kind of pull-up you want is very useful. But one of the things that I was the most excited about when I saw this set is the cable system in the back. As you can see here, we have this device plate loaded on both sides. So it makes it really easy to do cable exercise. You got the cables come up, over, and out to the front. So you can see you've got attachments here for like lat pull downs, rows. There's the handles we have as well. So you can do cable flies, you can do curls, whatever you want. But for my home gym, I just have the little aftermarket piece where it's a pulley that hangs over here. I can pretty much only do vertical type stuff like lat pull downs or tricep press downs. But with this, you can do pretty much any type of exercise that you would want to do from your standard cable machine. The one thing I will say about that though is I need to come in here and probably get a little bit of grease and put over these rails because initially when I first started using it, it wasn't totally smooth. There was a little, almost like if you were using a rusty machine, it's not constant tension going throughout. You feel it catch a little bit, but just a little bit of grease would probably fix that problem. Not really an issue there. So down here, we have a foot pad that goes in so you can do seated rows, which is an exercise I really like to do. The only downside with this one is it doesn't really come out very far. So for me, I would need it to be like right here because when I'm doing rows, I like to really stretch forward and then pull back. And if I'm just sitting here and stretch forward, I'm at the rail and I can't really stretch that much. So there's ways around that. I just moved back and we've got this rubber mat here and my shoes really stick. So I'm able to just hold myself further back. So there's always workarounds for that kind of stuff. It's not a big deal, but if that came further out, it would be helpful. On this side, we have a landmine. So there's not a whole lot of exercises I really like to do with landmines, but something I do like is doing bent over rows, which is what I'll be doing in my back workout we'll have for you later on. And it's really useful for that. I know a lot of people like to do shoulder presses. There's all kinds of options with it, but essentially this gives you access to just about any kind of major movement you would see in a gym. Another thing that I didn't really like are these connectors here. Instead of having this where it's safe because this isn't gonna come undone, but I would much rather just have a clip on, which you could take this off if you wanna get clips to put on instead. But typical clips would be a lot quicker instead of sitting here having to undo that, put your next thing on, spin it down again instead of just clip on, clip off. Again, those are small things that could be improved, but overall, it works really well. The other thing I did notice when I was doing dips, because this isn't bolted to the floor, it's very stable, but you can see it moves. And when I was doing dips, since you're having a balance on there, it was kind of shaking as I was getting to the top of the movement. But every other thing I did on it, I didn't have any issues with it being unstable or anything like that. So it worked out really well. And then we got this set that also comes with the bench. So as you can see on this bench, you have a lot of different angles here, and they're all written on the side. We've got 17, 30, 42, 53, 64. Those are the degrees of all the various angles, depending on if you want to do incline bench, seated curls, whatever, if you have dumbbells for that. This part moves as well, so depending on how you have the bench set. The wheels could come out a little further on this because as you lift it up, you gotta lift it pretty far, but then if you keep going, the seat's gonna hit. I guess you could lift the seat up. And then it'll go a little smoother, like that. But it was stable enough when I was doing bench presses. I didn't have any issues. The comes out a little bit wider as we're doing that. My shoulder, it was wide enough for my shoulder blades to stay locked in. I didn't have any issues there. And then also with the set that we got, we have these full bumper plates, which if you're doing deadlifts, I would really suggest. But it comes with 45s, 35s, we got 25s, 15 and 10. So you can get all the way up to 305 pounds. I did on the deadlift when I was working out with them. They bounce well. They're kind of rubbery, you know, stuff's gonna stick to them. We got a dog out here and there's dog hair getting stuck to them, but you know, it just depends on where you put your gym. A broom and a leaf blower will help that out. We also got this bar that came with the weights. I didn't have any issues with it. It's got your standard marks here for powerlifting. The sleeves are kind of plasticky material, but it's your standard 45-pound bar, so it worked out fine. There's no whip in it. If you look at my other videos as far as deadlifting or whatnot, there's different types of bars, like a power bar for bench press or squat that's not gonna move. But then if you're doing really heavy deadlifts, you can get a bar that has some whip in it so that it'll bend some and actually makes it easier as it comes off the ground. But I wouldn't expect a bar like that, which you wouldn't want for most of your movements. That's more of a deadlift thing. But the bar worked fine. It came with the little plastic clips, but I already have these that I like using a lot better. They just snap on and hold really well, and they're easy to get off quickly. So I would definitely suggest investing in a better set of collars for your barbell. But overall, after going through a full leg push-pull workout, it worked out really well. We're gonna get her really swole. Dang, girl. Here, let me get out of view. So, I mean, she's already pretty swole, but now this will help even more. The nice thing about this is the gym is how far from here? Like 25-minute drive?
It's about a 20-minute drive.
So 20-minute drive, so just to get there and come back, you know, get in there and get ready. You're looking at about 45 minutes where you could come down here, do a full workout in 45 minutes, and you're not having to wait for people at the gym either. That's one of the biggest things for me. With having a home gym, it is really nice to be able to just do what I want when I want. You can superset things. You can rest as long as you need. No one's waiting on you. You're not waiting on anyone else, and you can actually get your workouts done quicker. So definitely a good workout set. I'll have it linked in the description. You can check out. They have various versions of the racks. This is the one that's all in one, has everything with cable system and pulleys. It's really useful, but they also have just standard racks. You can see, check it out yourself. If you have any questions about it, post them down below. Hit that like button. At Camber Fitness is where I post all of my gym content of my lifts and whatnot. And I'll see you in the next one. And check out at Samantha Says.
I have some workout stuff on mine, but I have a variety of fun things. But yeah, sure. I'm into lifting, not as much as this guy, but my boys are really excited about this set. So I have 2 boys that are wrestlers and a girl that's a gymnast, and so hence the gymnastics equipment and the wrestling mats. And my husband and I both like to lift. I'm more into like boot camp style workouts, but I do like lifting 2 to 3 times a week. So you'll be able to see all the equipment. We didn't used to be an exercise family, but we've definitely gotten into it the last 5 or so years. So we love to come down here and just as a family, just kind of do whatever. So we like it.